Hey y'all, it's Matthew. I'm here to give you some tips from your server. First things first, you should know, if you don't already, that servers only make $2.13 an hour. And is that your problem? No. But here, just let me give you a little bit of insight as to why that serving wage is the way it is. From my perspective, this is how I look at it. Say you owned a fine dining restaurant and you have a lot of business with a pretty big dining room and have a lot of food that you serve. On a pay scale, you have to pay $7.25 above. You have managers, cooks, busboys, dish people, people who prep the food, bartenders, hosts, and hostesses. So that right there is a lot of money overhead already. And that's not even counting the bills to just open the door every day. So now you have to think about your servers. So you have a big restaurant and you have lots of people that come in to eat. So at any given time, you'll have 15 to 20 servers on the floor at once. So each server has just enough tables so that everyone have a very good experience. You don't want your servers to be overwhelmed, because if you're having your guests and they don't feel like they're getting a good experience, are they going to come back? Probably not. So you want them to have a really great experience so they always come back, so you have rotating business and your doors stay open. When you have that many servers, it isn't profitable to have to pay them at minimum wage, as well as every other person that's working in your restaurant. It's not just about the servers and the tips. That's just a little part of the fine dining experience. And that little part could destroy your whole business and make you close the doors, just because the wage is being paid to servers. You got to think about that. So let's talk about tipping. When you're tipping, you should always tip 15 to 20%. There's special cases where you're not getting really good service, but you should still tip. But it's typically 15 to 20%. And also, when tipping, if you have coupons or discounts, you need to tip on the amount before the discounts and coupons. We all go to restaurants to eat and have a good time and get good service, but you really have to take into consideration your surroundings while you're having that dinner. Here's some questions to ask yourself before getting upset with your server. Was there a wait when I walked in the door? How many tables have I seen my server stop at? Typically, it's going to be about 3 to 5 tables that they have, including yours. And does my server seem very relaxed and calm when they're at my table, or do they seem rushed and frustrated? At any given moment, when you ask for something from your server, they probably have about 10 other things that they need to get. So things happen, we forget. So, just forgive us. You can usually always tell when a server is genuinely trying hard to give you good service and when they are purposely neglecting you. So always ask yourself these questions I've given you and tip accordingly. 9 times out of 10, if we're busy and haven't been able to give you 100%, but you still tip us well, we will remember. So they say when you go into work that you should leave your problems at the door. But do any of us really do that? We try to, but it doesn't really happen. Your server may be having a bad day and be upset. We are your server and we know you expect us to be super server, but we have issues just like you. Personally for me, I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm always about having a good time and serving to the best of my ability when I'm at work. But I'm a human, and what normally gets me is the radio in the back of the house. There'll be a song that comes on that was played at my brother or sister's funerals, and it will make me cry just right there. And I can't stop working because I'm upset, so I have to go back to the tables and serve, and hence you get an upset server. So always just take that into consideration. Remember that you're going through things and we go through things as well. Now let's talk about a hot topic, the Stalker Server. I think every server in their time has probably done this. We're all guilty of it, including myself. A Stalker Server is someone that is overly attentive and probably is getting on your nerves during your meal. When I go into Stalker Server mode, it's usually because there's a lack of work in the restaurant. You're probably the server's only table or one of possibly 2 tables. There's probably little to nothing to be done in the back of the house, so we have to stay busy per what our managers tell us. So you wind up seeing my beautiful face about every 3 to 5 minutes. You see a lot of me, it can get a little crazy to you. Just for me and every other server, we apologize. We're just trying to stay busy and do our job. So, say you go to a restaurant and you order a steak, please don't get upset at your server if it takes a while, especially if the restaurant's busy. We can't control cook times. When ordering most drinks that don't come from a fountain or, say, a tea bin, like alcohol, milk, juice, specialty drinks, please be aware that I can't control how fast that comes. We have to get those drinks from a bartender, and sometimes they're just as swamped as we are. And along the same lines, coffee. Not all restaurants just let us go and pour coffee into a cup for you. They have procedures in which they have in place to make sure your coffee stays hot, and at my particular restaurant, it takes about 3 to 5 minutes to get that whole setup ready. We apologize, but we can't control what we're told to do. And I love to refill your drinks and your free bread, but do keep in mind that I've got several other tables and it may take me a few minutes to get those to you. I really want and desire to get that to you as soon as you ask for it, but sometimes it just can't happen. Most servers do the job because they love meeting new people, they love interacting, and they love the day-to-day change of everything. So please listen to all these tips I've given you and try not to get upset with your server when things don't always go right. In conclusion, like I said, we only get paid $2.13 an hour. Always tip 15 to 20% standard on the total amount before coupons and discounts. Ask yourself the 3 questions I told you. And remember, if you ask yourself these questions, you will always know if your server is purposely neglecting you or really trying hard to give you great service. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Leave in the comments below about videos you'd like to see me do next. Bye.